Hello guys, it's TheMightOfGeburah here. Oh man, let me just say this. This is not scripted. We're doing this naturally. And we tried doing this recording a lot of times, so like, yeah, sorry for being late on this, but hey, it's better to be late than never. And we are starting this, and I'm here with Corrupt Demigod and Eternal Apocalypse, and we have another helper here. We got Sign of Chaos. We got Sign of Chaos as well, so introduce yourselves.
It's Percival Knight of Flames here. Okay, Corrupt Demigod, as he said.
You might know me as Eternal, some know me as Red King, or any of my some have been introduced to me by, but yeah.
Yeah, we three kind of have a lot of names. It gets kind of complicated. But yeah, we're collaborating and are basically gonna analyze this video. And hopefully nothing bad happens in this. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, we're ready.
Alright. So, alright, this is Six's video. We're gonna click on it.
Surfer Wetjet prevents streaks.
Oh, come on!
Venom off. Love it or your money back.
Well, before anything, like, I just want to say, like,
Goku vs. Sonic is a classic
match. Like, if like, we don't, any of us don't, it's like, well,
No, Eternal, you gotta, we can't hear you.
Yeah, now we can't. What's going on?
What I'm trying to say, fucking phone, is if any of us will basically pause and respond to points that we don't agree with. If we don't respond to a point, basically we'll generally either give it or agree with it.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Even if we disagree with some of the things and we don't exactly pause it, like, we'll just give it just for devil's advocate, because we'll usually have a response to it later, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's continue.
Matchup that has been debated about for over a decade on the internet, and it's easy to see why. Goku is of course the face of the strong anime character concept, and the idea of if someone could beat Goku is commonly used as a sort of metric to gauge.
I wouldn't really call Goku the face of the strong hero archetype. I kind of see that more in the Man of Steel, but continue.
No, I have to agree. I see, like, a true test of strength is usually when you're fighting someone like Superman, not Goku. I mean, back in like 2011, like, people used to say that, Goku could destroy planets easily. But like, then you have 2015 and like Google Plus days where people were scaling Superman and he was mainly the center of attention, because if you could fight Cosmic Armor Superman, you were deemed one of the strongest beings in fiction.
I actually would say he's more recognized now as the powerful hero archetype. If you go basically to most YouTube shorts or many different channels, you'll commonly see Superman as the face of archetypally powerful heroes in the comic book genre, and just in the fictional superhero genre in general.
Oh, yes.
But anyways, back to the point.
Yeah, that I have to agree with, but let's continue.
Hedgehog is a fairly powerful character in his own right, and his series has drawn
fairly
inspiration from Dragon Ball for things like the supersonic transformation, which parallels the iconic Super Saiyan form, and the backstory for Silver the Hedgehog, which is very similar to the tragic backstory for Future Trunks.
Huh?
I said with its own caveats.
I don't see much that Silver and Trunks even have in common besides them coming from the future. I mean, Silver.
I mean, yeah, by this logic, Trunks and the fucking Terminator are similar.
Yes, that's true, but like, my point, I was gonna take it one step further. I mean, the point in time that they come from is like, the comparison is large. Silver comes from 200 years in the future. I think that was said in like the Japanese dub of Sonic the Hedgehog and like the Prima Guide and like I think the comics. Trunks comes from like 10 to 15 years later or something like that in the future. So like that's
But
a
to
pretty
be fair, Dragon Ball Super did make the comparisons clearer. In the sheer fact that they're dealing with, like, basically beings that they considered are threats to basically the timelines itself. And character and evil versions of good characters, i.e. Mephiles and Goku Black.
I'm gonna say that the last portion of the future Trunks saga in Dragon Ball Super is it kind of rips off of Sonic 06, where like the multiverse stuff starts going nuclear. Like Solaris destroys all of time and space and shit, and like Zamasu becomes infinite Zamasu. It's like, nah, you can't ignore this. Not only that, but Zamasu and Goku Black are basically the two characters make a greater whole archetype. Fucking Mephiles and Iblis started that trend.
Anyways, back to the video.
Yeah.
Due to the long-running history with both characters and their ever-increasing power levels, I'll be covering the battle in multiple rounds featuring different forms of both characters. The first round will be Goku at the original end of Dragon Ball versus base classic Sonic. The second round will be Goku at the end of the Buu Saga versus base modern Sonic. The third round will be post-tournament of power Goku versus
I just want to say,
and lastly, the fourth and final round will be...
I don't really know why you would put base, like, if this is modern Sonic, I don't know why you would use Dragon Ball Z Saga Goku. Would it not make more sense? I think it would make more sense if you use like Battle of Gods era Goku. Since technically that is the start of what we call modern Goku.
The original end of Dragon Ball versus base classic Sonic. The second round will be Goku.
Yeah, I accidentally skipped a good portion of the video. Sorry.
The third round will be post-tournament of power Goku versus Super Sonic. And lastly, the fourth and final round will be true Ultra Instinct Goku from the Dragon Ball Super manga versus Hyper Sonic.
Nah, I gotta pause 6 right there. Where the fuck is fucking Dark Spine Sonic, Excalibur Sonic, and Hyper Go-On Sonic?
I know they're not like something Sonic always uses and whatnot, but yeah.
Well, to be fair, I could get where he comes from not using those because they're not really what we call standard forms they regularly take. Like, you're not going to be using Super Saiyan 4 and Universe Tree.
I mean, to be fair on that, though, if like Sonic even has just like one Chaos Emerald, like I don't even know, he might not even need a Chaos. The point is, like, if he has something that's part of his standard, he can easily just teleport, himself there and grab it.
But I mean, he really can't. I can understand if he doesn't think they're standard, because they're like one-time uses from games that, while are canon, really are not forms Sonic regularly uses.
Yeah.
Besides, I think if we did that, like, we would have to give Goku like Super Saiyan 4 and like the Super Saiyan 4 limit breakers, because like GT is an alternate reality. it's canon, but not Dragon Ball Super material. It's kind of like the story.
Yeah, but the difference, I'll stop you right there. The difference is that Dragon Ball Super and Super Dragon Ball Heroes and GT aren't really connected. They're like alternate dimensions according to Akira Toriyama. So I mean, you can't really use that. Meanwhile, like Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight, they're like within the continuity of Sonic the Hedgehog from the games, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the point was, they really, I don't think they should, like, I don't think it makes sense to put Dark-Spine Sonic against, like, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, as they have barely any connections. Same with
I mean, I would argue that's what their transformations in general, but we're going on a...
We're kind of derailing the video.
It's probably better he doesn't use them, because he probably wouldn't even know how to scale them.
Omega content yet.
Let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue.
I tried to keep these matchups as fair as I could, but Goku's power progression is very linear compared to the growth Sonic achieves with his different transformations, which is why I excluded those in the first 2 rounds. Before getting directly into the video, I'd like to ask if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe. This is around my 3rd or so Sonic video, and I plan on making much more in the future, but let's get started. Since I have done a couple videos scaling Sonic before, for the first round I'll start off by scaling Goku. Original Dragon Ball marks the beginning of Goku's journey to becoming one of the strongest fighters in the entire multiverse. Obviously, Goku is not very strong from the beginning, but after years of martial arts training and learning how to harness ki, he becomes one of the strongest beings on Earth. Goku's scaling starts to pick up during the Tien Shinhan saga, where Goku fights Tien Shinhan. While Tien does go on to beat Goku via an out-of-bounds technicality, Goku was still strong enough to clash with him, take his attacks, and damage him. Now, this is impressive because Tien earlier had a battle with Master Roshi under the guise of Jackie Chun. Roshi forfeits the battle before he can go all out, but tells Tien that if they had actually fought to the finish, Tien probably would have won. This would be consistent with what's presented in Daizenshuu 7, which tells us that Goku and Tien both had power levels at 180 at the time, while Roshi had a power level of 139, with Tien being stronger than Roshi and Goku being relative to Tien. We could scale this Goku over the infamous moon-busting feat Roshi performs earlier on in the series. Goku continues to grow more and more powerful and winds up to the likes of King Piccolo and Piccolo Jr., or just Piccolo as he's more commonly known, and ultimately surpasses Roshi's moon-busting feat many times over. Compared to the later feats in Dragon Ball Z, original Dragon Ball doesn't have too many speed feats that are worth noting in this crossverse setting, though there are a few things that are useful for this discussion. During his battle with Tien in the 22nd Budokai, Goku has an interesting feat of grabbing Roshi's glasses from the audience before light from the solar flare can blind him. People have gone to war over this if it's a valid feat to put Goku at faster than light, since we don't see where Goku is when the technique initiated in the manga. One could make a case that he instantly grabbed the glasses after Tien shouted the technique's name but before the light came out. The anime version of this scene is a lot weirder since Goku is grabbing the glasses while the light is on him, which doesn't make sense that he should be blinded on the spot if that was the case. Tien then goes on to charge Goku while the light is still on him, which implies Tien's travel speed is somewhat comparable to light level as well. Since there's a lack of speed feats by this point, I'll give Goku the benefit of the doubt and use the interpretation that he grabs the glasses after the light is long.
You've got a great idea for an app, and you can't
Oh my
believe
fucking
that no one
God.
else has thought of it yet.
Come on.
You're sure?
Launch, but before it could reach him. Now, to get into the scaling of base classic Sonic, I'll first start with his battle against Death Egg Robot. This version of Sonic has fought the Death Egg Robot multiple times, and as I've talked about in my Dr. Eggman video, the Death Egg Robot has scaling implications that indicate that it's a planetary threat. This mainly comes from the fact that the Death Egg is alluded to powering the Death Egg in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, since the entire thing collapses after the Death Robot is destroyed. Eggman himself has directly described the Death Egg as a planet-destroying battleship, and it's also referred to as a doomsday machine. The term doomsday can commonly refer to the last
even a doomsday statement say it's planetary isn't really a good argument.
It's not, and I like. Huh?
I also want to add like the Death Egg and the Death Egg we've seen in like the Genesis era. It's pretty small.
I'm
Like-
not going to be concerned about this thing. The fact that Sonic can already body mech one second older than something.
Your voice isn't very
Uh-oh.
clear. Your voice isn't very clear, Corrupt Demigod.
Now my phone. Okay, so I'm not gonna go on a tangent about this, but all I'm gonna say is that Sonic's body mechs and like chaos almost to put him far higher than Planet King.
There's also the fact that Sonic's world, is its energy is kind of contained within the Chaos Emeralds, as you can see here. It says to foil Robotnik's plans, you'll need to collect all 6 Chaos Emeralds. These powerful gems hold the negative energy of the universe in them. You must unite them all to defeat Robotnik and bring harmony back to Mobius. So, yeah, there's that.
If you want to add more feet, he did destroy in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. He basically destroyed Robotnik's like gigantfied Death Egg robot, which was like powered by the Master Emerald. He did this in both his base form and later super or hyper form, depending on what you obtained in the game.
I don't know. I don't know. Some people argue the canonicity of fucking Hypersonic.
Well, you can still do it in super form, so not really exactly a relevant point. And Hypersonic is included in this video, so it's fair to use it.
Okay. There's also the fact that the Chaos Emeralds have infinite power and unlimited energy, as you can see here. Sonic Battle, Sonic Adventure, Shadow the Hedgehog, and I don't know where this comes from, but kind of get the point.
Yeah,
Sonic 3D.
going off that and the whole negative energy of the universe statement, that should imply that at the very least, the energy of the Chaos Emerald's infinite 3D.
Yeah, not only that, but
Debatable.
it says Robotnik learns about the Flickies. I will change the Flickies into robots and have them search for the Chaos Emeralds for me. Using the infinite power of the emeralds, I can conquer the world. This is from Sonic 3D Blast Flicky Island. Oh, okay, it's still recording. Thank God. This is a pretty low ball for Sonic. I mean, we have got.
Yet. Not go overkill yet.
Let's not overkill Goku here, but yeah, Sonic has much.
Honestly, I think infinite 3D is more than enough for fucking original Dragon Ball Goku easily.
Nah, not those Dragon Ball fans who be like, oh, but O'Reilly saw herself as fiction infinite number of times. Remember that?
Goku broke the manga panel.
Guys, you gotta. Guys, you guys gotta like let yourselves finish. Like, ironically, this person on Versus Battle Week, he was mentioning that. You basically have to let people finish talking, so everything is more coherent and organized.
I would
I kind of be into it. Like I said, Goku broke the manga panel.
Yeah, I think that the manga panel thing should have been at least mentioned as a reference point. You can argue it doesn't really scale anywhere in attack potency, but like, it is good to note that the Kid Goku has some form of Toon Force. A little bit.
Yeah, that's good to
Let's
mention.
continue.
But if you guys mentioned Toon Force for Goku, then we'd have to argue Sonic Sat AM and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, where Sonic has like.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
I mean, the power of that Toon Force isn't really explored anyways. It's kind of like featless.
Yeah.
Plus,
Which you can interpret to
I doubt anyone would consider the cartoons canon. But let's
Well, I
continue.
mean, if you use Stay Sonic, then Stay
No,
Sonic.
we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
mean the Death Egg can bring out about the planet's existence. Classic Sonic fights the Death Egg in Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania, meaning it's very consistent for him to be at this level. Sonic also has feats on characters who are equipped with Chaos
Nah,
Emeralds,
man, I
which can further
can't take it seriously. They just implied the Sonic Generations is planet level.
That's this.
I mean, if you're going to mention generations for feats of classic Sonic, well, to be fair, you would also have to kind of mention, at least mention the restoration of multiple zones at the end of the game after you pretty much destroy the Time Eater.
Yeah, and that's bare minimum and casual MFTL plus speed and shit like that.
No, that's
Well, I mean,
not.
like you would have to.
That's not massively faster than light. That's fucking infinite to immeasurable, and I can easily explain why.
I was
Hold up.
taking into account like if you don't want to say zones or like infinite and shit.
No,
Even if you don't want to, like, you would still have to consider the laws of the gravitational force of not only the zones, but also the star clusters that you can very clearly see within, like, the special stages that are considered parallel to normal zones. So,
can you show a scan for that?
Yeah, I thought I already sent that, but I'm just gonna say right here,
Tap
just to
me
bring
to it.
my point very clear. Yep. Well, that works too.
Where? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
basically
I
it's
see.
Sonic Chaos. The official Sonic Chaos manual, since we're including classic Sonic, we can include the Game Gear games. Basically states like special stages are parallel in nature, and then we got Sonic 3D Blast for like the Sega Saturn, where like Knuckles and Tails transport you to various special stages, and these same special stages contain like nebulas, stars, and basically galactic constructs. And with that in mind, you would have to take that kind of matter into consideration, because since we're talking about generations here, even if you wanted to say that was only classic Sonic only did half the work, that would still mean he would have had to restore half of the galaxies, stars, etc. with his pure speed, or rework space and time to function again.
Yeah, that's literally a far better feat than any Goku has. No cap.
Yeah, but I wanted to explain
Well, let's
something.
not go there yet.
I mean, I do be fitting though.
I wanted to say that since Sonic Generations is part of Classic Sonic's timeline, well, technically it isn't because there's no time in the white space, but okay. The zones in Sonic Generations are other dimensions. It's literally stated right here. Sonic catches a glimpse of Tails and the others being sucked into the sky, kicking and screaming. They are thrown into another dimensions. Well, that's supposed to be other dimensions, but, you know. So, like, since Sonic can accelerate through these different zones, it's, like, obviously immeasurable speed, since he's, like, traversing multiple temporal dimensions besides the fourth.
Well, we're not exactly on speed yet, so don't go there.
show the consistency for Sonic being on this tier. In Sonic Unleashed, we see that individual emeralds can restore the shattered fragments of Earth. I'll link the calc for this in the description, but these fragments were so huge and were moving fast with the kinetic energy to do this around 3.4 times 10 to the 34 joules, or over 81 Yoda tons. On most tiering systems, this goes way past the planetary tier and sits within the large planetary ranges. Sonic the Fighters features Sonic fighting a lot of his friends and rivals who are all equipped with Chaos Emeralds and defeating them, including Knuckles, who should be one of the best users of Emeralds considering the history his clan has with them. Sonic's speed scaling.
Okay, I wanted to mention something. So, did he just imply that the Chaos Emeralds are like planetary?
Yes.
No, he
Yes,
said
he did.
he said each Chaos Emerald could be scaled to large planetary off of a calculation from Unleashed.
Yeah, that's still pretty bad.
Yeah, like, what kind of calc is it? I hope it's not fucking pixel scaling.
Probably is.
Okay, let's continue on to speed.
During this time frame is pretty simple. I mentioned this in my How Strong is Sonic video, so I'll briefly summarize it here. Sonic CD features the time warp ability, which is a time travel technique that requires
Technique? What the fuck? Where did you get the... Even the scanning says doesn't support this. It says while running at the speed of light for a set amount of time, the warp panel will flicker and initiate the warp if maintained. Where does it mention technique?
Yeah, there is no technique.
I mean, for the goalpost, like, at most, the goalposts allow you, like, permission to time travel, if that makes sense. Like, but Sonic would still have to maintain the speed to actually time travel as via general relativity.
Mm-hmm. That's also ignoring that time traveling in Sonic allows you to go like not just beyond time and space like normal time travel, but like you can go beyond like time and space and its boundaries and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, we do have that
Sonic
scan,
CD.
don't we? Hold on, let me go there. Yeah, right here. Time travel through the past, present, and future. Sonic has finally surpassed the speed of sound and transcended time. Okay. To the past, to the future, the super speed of sound action has surpassed space-time. And then there's this. Instead of looking for something from society, we should think about what we can do. With just a little courage, you can do anything. You can even transcend time.
I also want to add, and there's another guide that like states, Sonic CD states like, you could basically surpass the barriers of space-time when you in Sonic CD.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on.
Yeah. I also wanted, before somebody says that, oh, it's obviously saying faster than the speed of light. Let me tell you, and let me look this up. Can you time travel by going faster than light? You cannot travel through time by traveling faster than the speed of light. It's not possible. So, the speed of light in Sonic is much faster than in real life. Think of it as in like Marvel or DC. It's basically like that. So,
The user
yeah.
run and maintain light speed to perform. Sonic can perform this technique throughout Sonic CD, and is also shown being able to do this in Sonic Mania. While Sonic's running speed is a light speed based on this, you can scale his combat speed a bit higher since he can dodge Metal Sonic's maximum overdrive attack, which increases his
now that you brought that up, now they brought up the reaction speed. We should actually bring up the shit we brought up last time with the whole...
Listen. Sorry to cut off, but listen, I like the Sonic movie OVA, I do, but why would you use that to scale Sonic's speed to Metal Sonic or vice versa?
It's
We
not
already
a good argument.
Game that most people don't even know of. I'm of course talking about Sonic Triple Trouble. I know it's kind of an unknown game, but just bear with me. So, as you know, or may not know, Sonic Triple Trouble has an item called the Rocket Shoes. The Rocket Shoes have been stated multiple times to grant amazing, fantastic, and phenomenal speeds. Heavily suggesting it's an amp in speed. And what makes that impressive is Metal Sonic was able to blitz him in the Atomic Destroyer Zone. And Sonic was still able to react, dodge, and attack Metal Sonic, and was able to dodge the overclocked form.
Yeah, I'll show you guys the video right here. Yeah, that's enough of that.
But
Yeah,
that proves that his combat and reaction speed is far above his travel speed, since, his travel speed when amped already got blitzed.
You know what? Let me actually let me just show the proof. Yes, the Rocket Shoes actually are an amp.
AMP stands for amp.
I'm actually already there.
Oh, well, never mind. Forget I said anything.
It's right here. I put an arrow at the rebound on camera castle. Just click on the attachment.
A fixed time. It flies through the air at great speed, and when pointed at 1 or 2 tan, it spins once and dodges the enemy. If you take it, you can move in the air at amazing speed for a certain amount of time. It comes from the Sonic Chaos Game Gear. Wait, no, I think this is Triple Trouble, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, there's actually was something. You can also use Sonic Chaos since the shoes are there as well.
Yeah, they call it hyperspeed, indicating a huge speed amp.
Yeah, there you go. So, it's an amp. AMP stands for amplification, by the way, if you don't know. So,
acceleration by 4 times. Without this attack, Metal Sonic is already comparable to Sonic in travel speed, and is also confirmed to have higher acceleration than Sonic, meaning his overdrive charge should be at least 4 times faster than light, if not even higher. With the scaling part of this round done, we can throw the characters into a battle. At first glance, you can obviously tell that Sonic has a clear advantage in stats. He has more.
that's an understatement. I mean, you're talking about freaking moon to small planet to universe level low.
Versus global universe level.
I mean, even if you argued Kid Goku was stronger, let's just ignore everything we said about Generations and onward. Let's just say he was all in level because he can destroy amped Death Egg robots which are able to sustain entire islands. Let's just say that. I don't really think that matters, considering the speed is just way, way, way higher.
Yeah, Goku wouldn't even be able to tag Sonic. Like, he literally wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Do you guys have a scan that, like, the spin dash negates durability?
I probably have it somewhere, but I have to dig through shit. I don't really think it's worth really going through it.
Alright.
Spin Dash kind of already does act like it in a way because it's like a buzzsaw in many ways.
Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah.
More concrete, faster than light scaling, and could one-shot Goku if he lands a hit based on his planet to large planet levels of AP. Goku at this point has not acquired many abilities, so his only notable technique that could help him or give him an advantage is the solar flare. But due to the difference in strength, it's very unlikely that Goku could land a decisive blow, even if he managed to land this attack on Sonic. And
It wouldn't even work.
Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Even if he could hit him with it, he wouldn't be able to harm him. Like, sure, he'd be blinded, but what next? You can't harm him.
Yeah, 6 kind of already pointed that out.
Oh, I already got like a.
Huh?
By the way, when we talked about the durability negating spin dash, well, I don't technically got it, but I just wanted to add it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Enemies
that's pretty
can't
nice.
destroy you when you have rings. Tails collects rings, too, that are added to your total. You'll lose rings if you get attacked or run into the enemy. Well, an enemy. The counter starts flashing when the number reaches 0. Then if you touch a badnik, you'll lose 1 life unless you're doing the super spin attack. Keep grabbing rings. You'll be protected so long as you have at least 1 ring. Okay, so, yes. Goku can't even harm Sonic when he's in the spin dash state. And even if he could, Sonic only needs 1 ring to protect himself. So basically, it's like giving Sonic a bunch of lives.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to add, you can also add the Insta Shield Sonic can do in Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Makes sense.
That's true.
Alright, let's continue.
Hold on, let me see. Oh my god. We're doing it! We're actually doing it!
W. Let's continue.
Dragon Ball Super, we see that Goku can keep up with Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and Base, with a few statements indicating that because of Goku's superior fighting skills and ability, he could be able to read her movements. While you can also write this off as Base Goku simply being that strong, you should also keep in mind that these statements are being made by characters who can sense ki, so they should be able to recognize if Goku's base was simply that strong in comparison. For reference, Super Saiyan 2 multiplies your battle power by at least 100 times, and you can arguably go way higher if you believe.
I want to say, I wanted to add during his fight with Caulifla, he was like he was like in a pretty tired state because he had to basically, he couldn't transform into his more powerful forms until like over time when it's like he finally gained the energy to. So like when Goku was throwing hands with Caulifla, you know, tanking her hits and beating her back, like he was in a not only a very tired state, but you also have to keep in mind the amount of beatings he had literally just taken. Like he took beatings from Jiren. He got walked through by a berserk Kale, and all Frieza really did was like give him the energy to move.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. Why later on was Super Saiyan Blue Goku being chalked up as being stronger than Berserk Kale when Berserk Kale was beating the shit out of him in Super Saiyan Blue.
Tournament power scaling his ass.
Nah,
Well,
you
I
know
just
what?
wanted to bring them up.
I'll give Dragon Ball Super this. The scaling in it is better than Super Dragon Ball Heroes. That's like really bad.
Okay, that's
definitely.
a fucking mess. Let's just not go there. I don't even want to talk about Dragon Ball here.
Yeah, let's just continue.
Oh my god. Okay.
Super Saiyan Grade 4 is stronger than Super Saiyan Grade 1. I brought up this Dragon Ball Super example to show that it is possible for Goku to make up for the difference in stats with his combat skill, at least when fighting some opponents. If you go down this route, it would be difficult to say that Goku this early on is at this level. Raw martial arts skill becomes a lot less important throughout Z and is sometimes relevant in Super, and this specific idea coming from the Goku versus Khalifa battle is only highlighted one time. To Goku's credit, Sonic, especially at this point in time, has a very straightforward fighting style. If you ever played a Sonic
Okay, I
game,
wanted
you
to
know-
launch this play here real quickly. Because this is so stupid. Sonic having a straightforward like attack pattern and attack strategy and whatnot is just blatantly wrong. You can only get this idea if you use game mechanics. Sonic is on par with Knuckles. These are later scans in the classic era, but I don't think it'll really matter. There's classic statements as well. I'm just not gonna dig up that shit. But Knuckles is a master martial artist. And Sonic is on par with him in combat, not just like stats.
Yeah, this is I
If you're
noticed.
going off the idea of straightforward combat, well, he has been able to, like, in terms of combat, he's able to figure out many different techniques in order to, like, beat certain bosses, like what he did in Sonic the Fighters. But he also basically had to outpace and outmaneuver Metal Sonic's attacks, who was made to be Sonic superior. It's basically fighting yourself.
Exactly. Yourself and more, actually.
Oh yeah, I also want to add Sonic Mania in the mix since Six brought that up. That Metal Sonic boss fight, well, the updated version where Sonic had to utilize multiple different styles of, like, he had to put up multiple different strategies to put down Metal Sonic. Like, he had to bop the Silver Sonics into, like, the core of this giant machine Metal Sonic was in, for example. He then had to fight up a Metal Sonic that was, like, in the same look and style with a bluer color as the one seen in Knuckles Chaotix, which is actually something I want to bring up as well. Since we're talking about Sonic being relative to Knuckles, Knuckles is able to pretty much work hand in hand with people that he had just met in Knuckles Chaotix with, like, the rings that he had to, like, tie himself up with. With either Espio, Charmy, or Vector the Crocodile. And they all had to work together to basically defeat this form of Sonic they have never encountered before.
Yeah. Good point.
So I really wouldn't say it's straightforward. It actually does require a little more thought than just being straightforward.
Yep.
And that's also excluding a lot of modern Sonic material.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, let's continue.
Okay.
No, Sonic's fights mainly consist of him using his speed to evade his opponent's attacks and then charging at them to counterattack. Games like Sonic Battle and Sonic Frontiers do showcase a more fleshed out moveset for Sonic, but those games feature a modern Sonic, meaning they're not applicable for this round. I mentioned Sonic.
Wait. Wasn't Classic Sonic able?
There's also fucking fighters. I don't know why he didn't bring that up.
I think he's about to bring
That's
that
classic.
up, but
Okay.
yeah,
Let's see.
wasn't he able to incorporate strategies that modern Sonic had in Sonic Generations? That's like That's something to keep in mind.
Also, wasn't there something you could have mentioned Sonic Forces, which classic Sonic appeared in, which is post-Mania, where I don't know if this counts, but he's able to basically beat up Chaos, who he had never encountered before, and I think threw hands with Infinite in their boss
It
fight.
wasn't even just throw hands. He actually one-shots Chaos Zero.
I was referring to Infinite with that one.
Yeah,
He
I
won-
know. But yeah, Cosmic actually one-shots Chaos Zero. A good thing to keep in mind is actually that Chaos Zero had to get jumped by Modern Knuckles and Modern Silver.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the occasional Forces prequel comic.
Also possibly fear hacks the Tails.
I would-
Tails literally seeing Chaos Zero.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that was fear hacks. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't either.
I don't know, man. He looked very, very scared. He was crying for help. He looked
That's
pretty scared.
because he had just scanned what he's capable of.
But this isn't
during the infinite encounter. That's kind of implied.
Anyways, continue.
I kind of wanted to show the. Kind of wanted to show the Chaos versus Knuckles and Silver scan. So I'll show that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Did you watch that Goku vs Sonic video?
Oh,
Yeah, we're analyzing that.
Yeah, we're actually literally just recording right now. So welcome to.
Hang on, I'm grabbing the scan. Some scan. First. Come on.
yeah. These scans aren't really in order, so take that as you will. Chaos is absolutely bodying these niggas, so.
Yeah, the point is that this Chaos is bodying a Knuckles and Sword.
What? What'd you say?
Way past. I said the point is that Chaos Zero right here is bodying a modern Knuckles and Silver. The same modern Knuckles and Silver who would scale above, bare minimum at the very least, because of gens. They would scale above the Adventure era.
That's true. I also would say that this Chaos would be stronger than Sonic Generations base Sonic, since Silver and Knuckles would be relative to that Sonic who can beat Perfect Chaos from Sonic Adventure 1.
I actually agree with that because Silver actually fought Sonic in Gens.
Yep.
One of
let's
the fighters
continue.
early on, which does show the classic Sonic can throw hands if he wants to. This is not as impressive as Goku being able to scrap with and surpass numerous martial arts masters in his lifetime. So while you can definitely say Goku is more skilled than Sonic, it's very hard to prove that the gap is big enough that he would be able to make up for the stat difference because of it. Like I said earlier, it's also hard to prove that this version of Goku...
What?
Can you turn up the volume?
I didn't drop the volume.
Yeah, because there's
Weird,
background noise going on, I think.
Oh,
Weird, because it dropped from continue.
okay.
Who is at this level of martial arts mastery to begin with. So for this reason, I'm giving this round to Sonic.
Yeah, I understand. 6 speaks very low. I have no idea why.
It's a preference, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Jumping into round 2, end of Buu Saga Goku versus base modern Sonic. I want to start off with the scaling for
Feels like it should have been Battle of the Gods Goku, but continue.
Dragon
True.
Ball Z, Goku is constantly reaching new heights, and this ultimately culminates in the Majin Buu Saga. The Buu Saga features a handful of very contentious inverse topics, like Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Ultimate Gohan, or Kid Buu versus Super Buu Gohan Absorbed, or Buuhan, whatever you want to call them. The overall power scaling of the Buu Saga is very contentious, so I'll present a low ball and high ball, and I'll just leave it up to you to decide if you agree with the lower end interpretations, the higher end interpretations, or just something in between. For the low ball, you can just upscale Goku off of the Cell Saga and apply the relevant multipliers. At the beginning of his battle with Majin Vegeta, he powers up to his max strength in Super Saiyan 2, which Vegeta notes is stronger than Gohan when he defeated Cell. Gohan of course defeated Cell with father-son Kamehameha that overpowered Cell's solar/perfect Kamehameha, which is confirmed to be at least a solar system busting attack in the manga, anime, and numerous guides. Super Saiyan 3 being 4 times stronger than Super Saiyan 2 means that Goku should be 4 times stronger than the solar system destroying Kamehameha. You can
No. I know this nigga is not saying that because Goku is 4 times stronger than a solar system, he can destroy equal to or more than 4 solar systems.
That's kind of the basis for Dragon Ball multipliers, though. It's like, when you multiply the Super Saiyan form, like, it's not clear, like, the best interpretation you can argue is, like, it does multiply, like, how many planets and stars you can destroy. I know that's not exactly been confirmed, but it's, like, the best case scenario for the multipliers, so...
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and it's not like it's gonna change the outcome anyway, so we can let them have it.
okay, I'll give this to Goku.
can extend the argument even further if you choose to apply some information from anime fillers. In the Afterlife training arc, Goku has a confrontation with Super Perfect Cell, and before they can actually clash, Pikkon appears and one-shot Cell with ease. And guys, not only is it confirmed that this Cell is as strong as he was before, it's also stated that Pikkon is straight up stronger than Cell. Keep in mind that Pikkon one-shotted Cell with his weights on, and after growing stronger, Goku goes on to compete with weighted Pikkon in base. So if you apply filler, you can say that Goku ends up surpassing Cell in just his base form, which means by the Buu Saga, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is over 400 times stronger than the Solar Kamehameha. You can push Goku's strength a bit further using his battle with Kid Buu, who is shown destroying an entire galaxy in an instant in the anime. You could even go as far as to push Kid Buu to being a universal threat, based on this statement of Goku saying the universe will go poof if they lost, which obviously...
Oh my... That's hyperbole!
No, I was not gonna say hyperbole. I kinda don't really... Like, I don't really agree with the universe destroying, like, Kid Buu. Like, based off other scenes, like, when he's, like, with Fat Boo's with Bobbity, and, like, Supreme Kai statements, like, his universal... He is a threat to the universe, but he's not, like, going to be capable of destroying the universe instantly. It's more like an overtime feat.
Yeah, like...
That was the same way, like, he would have destroyed the universe over time.
Actually, if he wanted, he would have destroyed the universe then and there. Bobbity nor Bibbity could actually stop Buu. So... Yeah. There you go.
Implies Kid Buu would be able to instantaneously destroy the universe if he really wanted to. Regardless of if you apply the anime or not, Goku at full power should scale to Kid Buu, seeing as both himself and Vegeta believe that a fully powered up Super Saiyan 3 would obliterate him. Even without this power up, Goku was able to clash with Kid Buu multiple times, though it should be noted that Kid Buu was dragging out the fight for fun, so he's likely holding back to a certain extent. For the higher end interpretation, this will mainly be centered around the idea that Kid Buu is stronger than Buuhan and upscale.
I don't really want to advertise, but I have made a video on this. Yeah, I made a video on this. Yeah.
I don't really like talking about Kid Buu versus Buuhan, I think it's just too much of a mess.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's like abortion. It's no one wins.
Like,
I hate how Kid Buu is probably above Wuhan. Like, logically, he shouldn't be, but, like, he just is.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
well, like, I mean, Wuhan does have better feats, and, like, I'm pretty sure it's stated, like, base Vegito's is, like, more powerful than both Goku and Vegeta's peaks at that point, but, like, there's also statements like Kid Buu is stronger according to Goku. Like I said, it's a complete mess.
It really is.
I'll just say they're relative. I'll give them the relative, at least.
Makes sense.
Alright, let's continue.
Killing him and Goku off of Buhan's Vice Shout. There are many statements in the anime describing Kid Buu as the strongest form of Majin Buu by Goku and the narrator itself. Many anime
brought that
guys
up,
support
lol.
this even further with statements talking about how Kid Buu hadn't lost any strength but only his intelligence after Fat Buu was ripped out of Super Buu, and others just affirming Kid Buu is the mightiest of the Boos. In the anime, Buhan gets so enraged to the point where he uses a technique called outside space, a special variation of Vice Shout to create distortions in the very fabric of reality itself. The anime and Daizenshu both confirm Buhan would have crushed the universe between different dimensions had Vegito not stopped him.
Isn't that chain
He's too
reaction?
small. That's kind of what it was, like, I believe Dante explained it like Buhan was going to cause a chain reaction from, like, that would cause, like, the barriers to collapse into each other, which was, like, going to destroy, like, the Kaoshin realm, the living world, heaven, the underworld.
Yeah, he was gonna basically have, like, dimensions crash into each other and shit.
Yeah, he was basically pulling different dimensions into each other. It's not really his power destroying it, so I don't know why he mentioned that.
I mean, still, it is it's still impressive strength for Buhan to, like, have to pull, like, on the barriers, like, the other realms itself. Like, I know people don't really like the idea of universal heaven, but if you do take that route, like, these statements imply, like, heavily support, like, Buhan has, like, universal strength, like, because, like, based on how you skip from the dimensions in the Universe 7, like, heaven and hell have universal states in their own, which are, like, smaller than the actual universe, so, like, yeah, you take that as you will.
Yeah.
Just continue.
A big contention people have with this is that this could just simply be some sort of spatial distortion hacks ability, which isn't consistent with what the series actually tells us. Like I said, outside space is a variation of Vice Shout, which is stated to require extremely high battle power to even execute. To perform Vice Shout, you emit ki by using a ki-eye yelling technique, which has the user exert ki throughout their entire body. This means that Buhan's feat was a byproduct of him exerting that much energy. After stopping Buhan, Vegeta compliments Buhan for the power that he displayed, and then tells Buhan that he actually used that power to hit him. So Buhan's raw strength should actually scale to this, and if Kid Buu is superior to him, Goku should be within the universal tier via scaling to Kid Buu. I don't want to turn this into a Kid Buu versus Buhan video, but you can attempt to rationalize Goku making the jump from being weaker than Buhan to stronger than him with the fact that Saiyans grow stronger throughout battles. Dragon Ball Super seems to retire the Zenkai concept of Saiyans getting huge power boosts after recovering from battle and substitutes it with another ability to just grow more powerful as the fight goes on. Goku makes a lot more absurd power jumps throughout Super, which gets explained away by this, so you can apply this to the Buhan example to resolve the contradiction. Before moving on, I do want to reiterate that I'm not trying to say one interpretation is more likely than the other, since the Buu saga has different sources giving conflicting information over the scaling of the arc. Almost any position you can make have a decent basis behind it, so I'm leaving it up to you to determine how strong you think Goku truly is at this point, based on what I
for the
provided.
Buu saga,
Now,
like, I think like a galaxy, a multi-galaxy is a perfectly fine stance for the
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Goku's
fine.
speed in Z is very underwhelming. To scale his speed, you could do a long chain scale from the Saiyan Saga and apply the relevant multipliers to get some FTL levels of speed, but ultimately this is pointless since Kid Buu has a feat going way beyond what you would get from doing that. Earlier I mentioned Kid Buu's anime feat of destroying a galaxy almost in an instant. In the same scene, it's shown Buu was going around destroying things planet by planet, meaning he's actually traveling the whole diameter of the galaxy. If you assume it took Kid Buu a whole hour to perform this feat, which is probably lowball, he'd still be moving at speeds over 900 million times the speed of light. This is of course severely downplaying him, as we see it happen within seconds on screen. So realistically, this should be over 667 billion times faster than the speed of light, and Goku should obviously scale to this from fighting Kid Buu.
I just want to say something. Where is he getting these calculations from?
No idea.
multiplier stacking, multiplier stacking.
Probably.
But what? I'm not gonna question this. I'll just give Goku this.
Modern Sonic struggles to reach anywhere near the levels of Solar System AP or Universal up until maybe Sonic Generations. Classic.
What? No. What?
No.
Wait. Did he just say that like Sonic had a hard time reaching above Solar System pre-generations?
Oh, I really don't want to. I really don't want this to turn into like a Sonic scaling video, but while we
let's
won't,
just get a few feats out of the way.
while we won't show the scans for this, let me finish. While we won't show the scans for this particular part, I'll just describe it. In Sonic Battle, Eggman has a robot named Emerald use a machine called the Final Egg Blaster to destroy multiple stars and solar systems. Emerald then absorbs that energy, and Sonic easily beats him, like within 30 seconds. And
Yeah,
there's a game.
crazy.
There's a game before that called Sonic Shuffle, in which Sonic fights this being named Void, who embodies dreams, thoughts, and ideas alike. And Void basically destroys the Precious Stone, which assembles dream worlds from different dimensions, each dream ranging from small to infinite in size.
Also,
So
dreams have been stated, according to Lumina, to be at least 4-dimensional.
well, I wouldn't call the four-dimensional space 4D. It's, in my opinion, it doesn't really have a spatial or temporal dimension. It's just, as Ian Flynn kind of said, it's dimensions in Sonic are just basically containers for things. But it contains concepts of reality, concepts of space, concepts of time, concepts of length, width, and height, and things like that.
Well, I want it to be fair, because since the Precious Stone scales to all dimensions in the imaginary world, it's also been stated in title cards there's 4-dimensional spaces within. I think if you use that, you can easily get Sonic's AP at least above infinite 3D.
Yeah, but I wanted.
Not only that, now that you brought up the Final Egg Blaster shit, it's worth noting as well that the Final Egg Blaster was actually targeted toward Mobius, which scales directly through the emeralds as well.
And that's funny you bring up the planets as well, because there was another feat in Sonic Advance 3, like, if you watch the intro of that game, you would understand what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I wanted to show everyone the scan where Ian Flynn confirms dimensions of Sonic contain different planes and shit.
Here's a question from Rolling Frenzy. Can or does the term dimension in Sonic refer to concepts of reality, concepts of size, concepts of worlds, universes, zones, and realms or planes? Can it also contain them? For example, Blaze's world is contained in her dimension. Yes or no?
My understanding is that dimensions are the biggest bucket that everything else fits into. So yes, Blaze's world is in her dimension. Blaze's universe, Blaze's solar system, Blaze's different planes of existence, they are in her dimension. Likewise, Sonic's world, Sonic's universe, all of his crazy crap, it's in his dimension. And within the dimension, you have concepts of, height, length, width, depth, time, whatever the fifth dimension is called. I don't remember. Actual physical dimensions are contained within the sci-fi concept of a dimension. They are dimensional dimensions. Dimensions within the dimension.
Dimension. So many dimensions.
Might cause dementia.
Yeah, so, a dimension in Sonic contains concepts of space, concepts of height, width, length, breadth, and time. Basically spatial dimensions, physical dimensions, concepts of reality, that type of stuff. So destroying a single dimension within Sonic would be like fucking outer versal.
At least 5D.
At least 5D, since Ian Flynn explicitly mentioned that. Just take it as you will.
And he mentioned it, literally right after talking about, mathematical dimensions as well. So it's not just referring to some vague three-dimensional space, according to Ian Flynn, but something actually mathematical, like a different mathematical direction. Since time is typically, some say it's the fourth dimension, others say it's not, but you get the point.
Some say it's
a universe in Sonic. It's at least 100 plus.
Okay.
If you take Eon, consider it.
Oh, thank God. It's still recording. You hear me?
Continue.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yep,
good.
We can hear you.
So, lowballing, it should be 5D. But, if you take it as much as him being literal, it would probably be high hyperversal to low outer, or low outer to outer versal. Take it as you will. I'll allow you guys to interpret that.
Sonic and Modern Sonic have a few weird interactions with the Time Eater in the opening portions of the game at the beginning. Classic Sonic gets caught in an omnidirectional blast the Time Eater produces, and while this blast does destroy the space-time, Classic Sonic survives this. Modern Sonic also survives the erasure of his space-time, and in the 3DS version, he even has a feat of damaging the imperfect Time Eater when it tried to attack the classic version.
He didn't just damage him, he bodied him and forced him to flee.
He literally fucking bodied him! What the fuck? No, I don't remember much. I don't remember much of this video because I was trying to empty the slot in my mind to have it be a new experience for y'all, but I think I'm beginning to remember something that Six says after this that it doesn't add up. Let's just continue.
So it'd be easy to write them off as universal feats, but there's some issues with this that I talked about in my Eggman video. The main reason Eggman utilized the Time Eater is because of its ability to erase time and space, which he continuously used throughout Sonic Generations to erase different points in history. including time periods like I mentioned earlier. Sonic being able to survive this more than likely showcases a resistance to space-time erasure, as
I mean, like, really, that doesn't matter because spatial and temporal forms are what make up the universe, and all its matter. So, like, if you agree it erased the universe, does it matter? He withstood that kind of power, both his young and modern self.
He's implying. He's implying that he just erased the space-time. It's just hacks. It has nothing to do with his actual power. But the problem with this.
Exactly what...
The problem with this is that Sonic Generations 3DS quite literally says that the Time Eater obliterates time and space. Meaning it's not just an ability, it's something it actually does with its body. This or something.
Also,
it's consistent actually with Solaris being stated to be able to destroy time and space.
I also want to add, like, I don't really know where you get the idea that literally consuming all of space and time is like a hacks-based ability. Like, if you're saying that, like, how is eating a hacks?
Exactly.
We do. You have to physically consume and destroy, like, billions of, like millions of, like a ridiculously large amount of matter to do that.
Yeah, it's a fucking ratty argument. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not calling Six a rat, but this is not a good argument whatsoever.
Yeah, you can't even prove that it's just hacks. There's no way to prove it.
Let me just... Hold on.
Also, I don't know if 6 is like doing some out of order like scaling, but I feel like he could have at least brought up the usage of Eraser Jin, since like there are multiple direct statements of him like being able to destroy like the universes of the Arabian Nights, which is like at least 1,001 worlds. But if you absolute lowballs, let's neuter that for a minute. Let's say it's not 1,001 space. It still directly states like there are at least 8 different worlds.
Yeah.
Sonic he practically was about to die, or be unalive, I should say. He still was able to beat Eraser Jin and Ifrit, who he sent to burn the rest of the worlds up, and he was still able to mock the both of them, despite being heavily crippled.
And I finally got that.
When anyone brings up Ifrit, like of Sonic. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, I finally got that scan from Sonic Generations 3DS. It says the Time Eater obliterates time and space. So, let's just look up the definition of obliterate. It means to destroy utterly, wipe out. Like, to remove all signs of something, destroy. So, it's not hacks. It's hacks, but it's also, like, destructive capacity in AP. Let's just say that. What were you gonna say, Sturge?
I don't think it matters if you it's hacks or not. Sonic resists, like, destruction hacks on, like, at least on a Universal Plus scale. so he can withstand energy equivalent to at least universal power. Uni plus power, I should say. At the lowest.
And Time Meter can harm him. So, like, it being hacked doesn't make any sense.
True.
As opposed to raw durability. You also wouldn't be able to establish the incomplete Time Eater as having universal durability for Sonic's feat against it in the 3DS version of Generations to being universal. Another route you could take is scaling Sonic to the Phantom Ruby, which also has its own issues. I covered the Phantom Ruby's.
What? Issues like what?
Oh no, I can't wait to see this.
No, please, no.
Scaling before, but to summarize it here, you can scale the strongest Phantom Ruby users at their respective peaks to 6-dimensional levels of power. And Sonic does manage to defeat Infinite and the Death Egg robot at the end of Sonic Forces that wields the Phantom Ruby. The big problem here is that Sonic takes on these opponents while being amped by heart, soul, and the bounds of friendship.
I'm fucking dead.
The power.
He's gonna argue. I've seen his videos. He's going to basically argue that fucking Sonic is amped by friendship. So like he doesn't scale to any of the feats that he does.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Shiny
oh yeah, he's about to use Rush as well. He's gonna ignore the context of this shit.
Has been shown to completely replenish the soul emeralds of their energy in the past, so the amp from that alone is already comparable to the tiers of amps you can get from the Chaos Emeralds. While Sonic does grow stronger by the second according to himself anyway, the amount he grows by is unquantifiable and is likely not anywhere near the level of a super form increase.
Pause real quick.
Oh my fucking god.
What?
Well, there is something of a quantification you can do. And that's in Sonic Generations, where he's able to defeat he's basically able to defeat Perfect Chaos in base form, whereas before he needed Super Sonic to do that. Mind you, both of them are modern Sonic, and according to Generations, Sonic didn't age that much. Or at least it didn't look like he aged that much, so...
Yeah, to add on to that, by the way, is in the classic era, I know this isn't modern Sonic, but modern Sonic scales above this anyways. In the classic era, Super Sonic went from getting one-shotted by Knuckles all the way to taking him on in base. Implying, yes, he can in fact surpass his previous super states.
So yeah.
To be honest.
Let's continue.
Say Sonic's skills to this will require giving third-party amps from outside help, so I won't be applying that to this battle. One way you could attempt to get Sonic to the Solar System tier or beyond is by scaling the final egg.
No, he utterly skipped the Metal Sonic battle in Sonic Mania. You remember when Sonic Mania, Metal Sonic uses he uses the oh my god, I'm forgetting.
Phantom Ruby?
He uses the Phantom Ruby to turn into the giant variant of Metal Sonic that appeared in Knuckles Chaotix. So he beat a Phantom Ruby amped Metal Sonic. And this was his classic self, who's weaker than modern Sonic.
Also, I just want to add, I know there's a difference between the incomplete and complete Phantom Rubies, but it's never really been stated that there's an infinitely greater gap between the two.
No,
So
it's just implied they're relative. That's why Eggman wanted the copies destroyed.
So really, if you agree Phantom Ruby 6D, then unless you can prove there's an infinitely greater gap between that and base Sonic from Mania, then you would have to conclude that Sonic's somewhere in the low complex multiversal ranges purely off of that statement. I don't know where he gets 6D from, but I'm just gonna use that.
Yeah,
fact
I
that,
don't
like,
understand it
Sonic-
either.
the-
From what
the fact that-
what I saw, his argument for 6D Phantom Ruby is pretty bad.
The fact that Sonic was able to rival Infinite in their first encounter. You can't use the friendship amp to quantify that. So at the very least, you have to imply he's relative there. And the only way you can prove that Infinite is like far superior is using hyperbolic as statements from him. Like, he's arrogant. He's gonna say like Sonic is trash and shit, which is exactly what he says.
I also wanted to add the Metal Sonic boss fight in Forces. Pretty clear cut Metal Sonic is amped in Forces.
No, it's not. And that's the funniest part. Sonic says that Eggman was cutting corners when he used the Phantom Ruby to make a clone of Metal Sonic, implying that the actual Metal Sonic is much stronger than that copy.
Makes sense.
Wait, this.
I mean, it makes sense considering in Sonic Mania, Metal Sonic had the access to the power of the Phantom Ruby in Mania, which gave him like that form that heavily resembles Metal Overlord, or that red form he took in Knuckles Chaotix, whereas this is essentially just a bigger Metal Sonic with a little bit more power, but still like suggested to be weaker than that Metal Sonic from Mania. So yeah.
No. Let me pull up that scan. I have to note that.
Which one?
Right here. I posted it in Camelot Castle. You can look at it, or you can just look at my screen. It says Eggman's got the real metal. Why would he even bother making a fake one? Someone's cutting some corners. That implies that the Phantom Ruby clone of Metal Sonic is fodder to the real one.
I can see that. Metal Sonic has some pretty crazy stuff.
I'll say buttfuck Shadow.
Ouch.
Oh, High Ground, is that you?
Yeah, it looks like he joined us.
Okay, you can help if you want. Hello guys, this is the High Ground 33. He has a few other names, but like I don't remember all of them, so yeah, he'll probably be helping us out here.
Blaster from
continue.
Sonic Battle. Eggman uses the final Egg Blaster to destroy stars, and a Gizoid called Emerald captures the excess energy from it and winds up fighting Sonic. Emerald loses control over himself because of the energy, and Sonic defeats him in less than 30 seconds, which may sound impressive, but like the previous argument, there's a few holes. For one, we don't see the stars being destroyed on screen, so we can't say how many were destroyed. It could have...
Okay, what?
What?
No, I'm so flabbergasted about this that I can't make a proper refute. My brain didn't just fart, it took a shit.
I mean, if it stated like he destroyed like multiple stars, then like the safest assumption is at least 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need time to process this, but I don't want to keep the audience waiting, so I'm just going to continue.
Also destroyed an entire star cluster, or it may have been as little as 2 to 3. Furthermore, the excess energy left after the final Egg Blaster
Two stars
destroyed the
is not a
stars
star cluster,
does
but
not
okay.
even need to be on the same level as the full power beam itself. Emerald can't even control this energy like I said, and Emerald is severely damaged by even holding in this power. Lastly, the energy is constantly leaking out of Emerald as well. So not only is the amp going away as time goes on, but I'd also like to point out that if the multi-solar system level energy was constantly being leaked out in the Death Egg, which is relatively close to Earth, then it probably should have been destroyed. I think the point is clear that a base modern Sonic is struggling to get near Goku's power for this round, so Goku has a massive strength advantage. Well, Sonic...
No. I mean...
Okay, let me, okay, so that the final Ermal not scaling to the final Egg Blaster, unless you have proof for that, that's Hitchin's Razor.
Yeah, if you don't know what Hitchin's Razor is, it's basically that a claim that's asserted without evidence can easily be dismissed without evidence. Basically,
also, you want to add the leaking energy out of Ermal and him not being able to control it, like, we don't know how much was gone, so, you can't really say that's, tier differences level of gone. But that should suggest, it being a better feat for Sonic, considering he was fighting, an uncontrollable Ermal.
Okay, let's continue.
May not be able to even scratch Goku. If he's fast enough, he could use some form of durability negation to bypass the difference. So the question is, how fast is Sonic? There's a decent feat for Sonic in Sonic Advance 3, where Super Sonic flies to a nearby nebula located in a non-aggression zone in a short time frame to take on a Chaos Emerald Enhanced Emerald. If you assume this nebula is the Orion Nebula, which is the closest starry nebula to Earth, Sonic would have had to travel 1,344 light years in about 15 seconds, which is a rough estimation based on the cinematic timing of the gameplay. At the rate Sonic would have had to move at about 2.8 billions of times the speed of light. Something to note is that Eggman is also present in this boss battle and keeps up with Supersonic's flight speed with his Eggmobile. This isn't to say Eggman scales to Supersonic's top speed necessarily, but he should scale to this nebula traveling feat, especially when considering he would have had to perform a similar feat to get there as well, since he also has started at Earth just like Sonic did. It's very consistent for Sonic to be able to keep up with and catch up to the Eggmobile throughout the series in his base form, so it's easy to backscale this to base Sonic. Even though this is very impressive, this pales in comparison to the Kid Buu speed feat I brought up earlier. The best argument you could use to try scaling base Sonic beyond speeds of Z Goku is by arguing that he has inaccessible or immeasurable speed based on the feats he has in white space of Sonic generations. Inaccessible speed would come from the fact that the white space has no time for Sonic, so for him to be able to move in this area, he'd be moving in 0 time. The immeasurable speed argument would be based on Tails stating that they were traveling through time and space, and that the Sonics accelerate through time and restore the worlds erased by the Time Eater. The latter does not work at all because it makes more sense for Tail to be saying traveling through time or accelerating through time, with a metaphorical meaning behind it. White space not having time to begin with contradicts a literal interpretation.
Cool argument, but we literally see them visually restore all the zones.
Yeah, so it's adding time. So it's adding time where time doesn't even exist, so yeah. You were gonna say something?
Oh, in the Japanese version state, he restored energy and shit as well.
Show that.
I know someone had to scan.
Also, you would have to support the idea it's metaphysical when it's visually contradicted, but also contradicted by the plot of Sonic Generations.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I might have the scan in my Sonic dock. Let me just look through it on my phone and I'll just post it in Discord and then I could show it to everybody. Yeah, I think I got it. Posting the scan.
Also, if you're going to talk about finite speed scaling, we also have Sonic Chaos, where he was able to travel from multiple dimensions with just sheer speed alone. Like, he was able to travel in and out of Aqua Planet Zone, which is contained in another dimension, like, in just a few seconds. If anyone feels like showing that off.
You could tag us to it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll tag them.
Oh yeah, that's the scan I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so I got the scan. It's in the Japanese version of Sonic Generations. I found it pretty interesting. It basically says, it seems that if Sonic can run through the stages at high speed, he can restore the time of the world. Let's run through the rest of the stages at high speed and restore the time and energy of the world.
There you go.
Isn't that little help, what was it, thing you seen right away, if you guys don't know where it is?
Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure you want to look at the second video below the scan of the Aqua Planet dimension.
There is no,
No, like, the Japanese scan, I pinged you to it, but go to the video that says 2024.
Oh yeah, it says an aqua planet in another dimension. Strange creatures abound. Don't forget to catch your breath once you are in the water. So, Sonic basically, like, travels to this dimension through sheer speed.
There's also Sonic for Sega Saturn, where Tails and Knuckles are able to fly from the main zone to the parallel universes in a short period of time.
Come on. Okay, you might want to repeat that because, the fucking video was ear rape.
Alright, so, that's Sonic Chaos OST note in a nutshell, actually, but, you also have Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Saturn, where Knuckles and Tails, when you get enough rings, will transport you from the main dimension or universe to the parallel universe of the special stages in a short period of time. Which, as you know, contain various nebula, star system, and have been stated parallel universe.
Yeah, there's also the fact that special stages are stated to be parallel worlds, so like take that as you will. And let me read it. Sonic can use a pogo stick, allowing him to jump really high, and rocket shoes to add to his speed. After collecting 100 rings, Sonic enters a bonus stage to win back one of the Chaos Emeralds from the parallel world. So there you go. And
It's also streamed.
states in the manual, yeah. So like Sonic
That
is literally
suggests like that basically just suggests world and universe and Sonic are like interchangeable.
yeah.
Which makes sense.
So how would you travel through time in a place that has no time? The statement of the white space not having time comes from Eggman, who should obviously be the most credible in-series source when it comes to the Time Eater and white space. The inaccessible argument is way more concrete, however it also has
Think coding sounds
Ah,
boring?
come on.
What's boring?
its contradictions. A big issue with a lot of the feats regarding characters moving in timeless voids is that they often have characters doing basic and simple movements in these realms, which would wind up upscaling their speed and basically everything that they could do. In Sonic's case, you'd be expected to believe that he can wake up, talk, walk, and casually move about at this speed. Any case of Sonic taking time to even blink or something minute like that would conflict with the showings and generations, since the passage of time should be meaningless to Sonic and anyone who scales to his base.
What?
Alright, I'm back.
His base? No. Eternal.
Later game,
No.
basically
No. No.
However, it also Eater and White obviously be the most credible ways to travel through time
Let me show you.
in a place that has no time. The statement of the white space not having time comes from Eggman, who should obviously be the most credible in-series source when it comes to the Time Eater and white space. The inaccessible argument is way more concrete, however it also has its contradictions. A big issue with a lot of the feats regarding characters moving in timeless voids is that they often have characters doing basic and simple movements in these realms, which would wind up upscaling their speed and basically everything that they could do. In Sonic's case, you'd be expected to believe that he can wake up, talk, walk, and casually move about at this speed. Any case of Sonic taking time to even blink or something minute like that would conflict with the showings and generations, since the passage of time should be meaningless to Sonic and anyone who scales to his base. Later games like Sonic Lost World, Sonic Forces, and Sonic Frontiers all have different implications of time passing as Sonic's on that game's respective adventure, which again wouldn't make any sense if base Sonic could move around in literally no time at all.
He's basically arguing that, basically by his logic, no character in fiction can be a measurable speed.
I mean, like, the argument really doesn't make sense considering the other characters were literally drained of their life in Generations, and Sonic restored, like, their very souls and conscious. Plus, they don't have any anti-feats when it comes to speed, so, like...
Yeah, like them, like taking time to blink and shit would just imply, like, they are bound by a certain level of time.
No. Like, blinking is literally just a bodily function. In Sonic's case, you would have to prove Sonic requires, like, the need of time to basically move with his body. Like, the physical works of his body, like, working outside of time, does not suggest that he needs time. It just implies that his body is capable of functioning and working on its own merits without something like moving forward.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and the notion that he's bound by time is, like, debunked by Sonic surviving the universe and the dimensions being wiped out by Time Eater. Like, there's no time. So, like, if Sonic required time to exist or live, he would have gotten banked along with that too.
Also, there's the like the intersected like space-time like rift, like the main cast was trapped in when Solaris awoken, and you know, like massively destroyed space-time, which according to Shadow was like intersecting but also being destroyed, since like Solaris was going to destroy all timelines. And basically Sonic and gang are able to move within the destruction of space-time.
Which would imply they're beyond linear time.
And no, Elise is not a debunk, as there's literally nothing contradicting Elise. She's like is very special.
Sonic literally combined his powers with Elise to make a shield. So like, she probably scales with Sonic. So like,
Also, to contain like the Iblis trigger. So yeah.
You met Iblis, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Iblis, yeah. I just wanted to
sprint.
You done?
Yes.
Okay.
This probably has the best example, since you literally witnessed the change from daytime to nighttime and vice versa as you play throughout the game. If you really wanted to give Sonic the benefit of the doubt, you could ignore those contradictions completely, but you can also make a similar inaccessible speed argument for Goku. In the Buu Saga, Goku implies that time does not exist in the afterlife, which is even backed up by a guide saying that the afterlife lacks.
Wait, what? What?
No.
No!
Bro, Super Dragon Ball Hero completely debunks this.
Oh my god.
It has no concept of time, but it's affected by gravitational forces that curvature space-time by default. Okay.
Yeah, Super Dragon Ball Heroes also has time distortions.
Gravity is the curvature of space-time. Let's just look that up. Pretty sure it is.
Actually, I got the link if you need it.
Yeah, I'm already on it, so everybody can see it. Like, it has gravity, and anybody got this?
Oh yeah, King Kai's planet's gravity is only like 10 times Earth, so like, how the fuck is it above time? The hell?
It doesn't. It doesn't make.
The purpose of the scan is to prove.
What?
Like the literal argument from the afterlife is it's supposed to have no concept of time. Yet, not only is there a gravitational force, even according to King Kai, but you can also argue that's literally just a figure of speech, as souls and immortal beings basically don't have a view on time because time cannot destroy them. So you could argue literally all that refers to is the sheer fact of like the souls in the afterlife like are already dead.
Not only that, but
good point.
Why the fuck does Gogeta defuse in Fusion Reborn if there's no concept of time in the afterlife?
Yeah, there's just so many contradictions for this, it's not even funny.
Doesn't even make any sense. And don't say no, let me finish. And don't say that Fusion Reborn isn't canon though! Because it is! Akira Toriyama literally states the movies are alternate dimensions. Hold on, let me get that scan. Real quick.
I also want to say, you cannot argue like we can't use Fusion Reborn because Six literally used that as one of his points for the anime filler to scale the Buu Saga era Goku. So if he can use it, we can use it as well.
Yeah, actually, Gav, if you don't got the scan already, I got it.
You do?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it right now. Right there in Camelot Castle.
Yeah, what is your personal stance on Dragon Ball's theatrical films, Sensei? I take the movies as stories in a different dimension from the main story of the comic. I'm just I'm entirely just an audience member for them. There you fucking go. And like, hold on. Let me,
It also says right here he checks the plot and script, so like he overlooked the movie. He approved it.
Which also makes sense considering he's also had to overlook GT according to the credits of scenes of GT.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I got the scan from Fusion Reborn. It's like right here. Oh my fucking god.
This is it, Vegeta.
Yeah, Gogeta right there. And look at this shit. They unfuse.
Vegeta, thanks. For what? I should be.
Like, it's just a major cope. The afterlife has time in it. It's denial if you don't think it does.
It's the concept of time. So Goku moving in there is a lot more impressive than Sonic's speed feat, even if you granted the notion that the white
No, the fuck it isn't.
space speed scaling is consistent. I'm sure you got the idea as I was explaining the scaling for this round, that Goku easily wins with a simple speed blitz in one shot. Hex isn't too important since, ironically enough, Sonic would be too slow to land a hit, and there's not much he can really do to stop that, even with the best speed scaling you could realistically attribute to him. So with that,
What? But if they both have immeasurable speed, they would be at the same...
Is he implying finite multipliers could like increase Goku more into immeasurable speed or some shit?
I think that's what he's trying to argue.
Ew.
But I wanted to say that there's this thing I came across, and basically there is an immeasurable, there's like a 8,000 times, no, it's not like that, no. Hold on, let me look for it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Yeah. Conclusion. That is, look at this speed increase! The spin dash allows for this!
Crazy.
So, like, Sonic's multipliers would be far greater than Goku's with his Super Saiyan transformations from the Buu Saga.
Easily.
that out of the way, we can quickly jump into round 3. End of Tournament of Power Goku versus Super Sonic.
Sonic one-shots.
I've scaled Super Sonic before, so I don't need to go into full detail about how powerful he is. If you want the full explanation for how the scale works, I'd recommend watching the How Strong is Sonic video I mentioned earlier, but I'll briefly summarize it here.
Look, I'm going to recommend you guys not to watch that, because it's not really that good. At all. I told Six in one of his comment sections to, like, study Sonic scaling before he goes further, but, like, I don't think he's listening. Yeah.
In Sonic
does
vs.
the
Eggman
same
and
for
Eggman
Naruto.
Nego, we're going to use the Chaos Emeralds and Soul Emeralds to create their dream Eggman land that transcends dimensions. Eggman has shown knowledge.
Wait, he knew about that? And he said that... He better not be saying that's 5D. Hold on.
Space-time abilities before this
He is
and is
going
aware
to.
of the imaginary world, which houses a 4-dimensional space. So when the Eggman makes...
Yep.
I literally just... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that going to find the statement about imaginary world and its 4-dimensional space, because it's not it's not a 4th spatial temporal dimension. It contains spatial temporal dimensions. Okay, I found it. I'm going to have you guys watch it. It should be simple.
Alright, here's one from Type Chaos. Is the 4th dimension in Sonic Shuffle related to spatio-temporal dimensions? I don't think so, because it has no scientific mathematical background, but I think it can encompass any and all sizes, ranges, concepts, scopes, considering dreams have no limits in Sonic. Is this agreeable?
Sure.
Yes. Yes. It's not a spatial temporal dimension, but it houses spatial temporal dimensions as well as all concepts. So, if it houses all concepts, and all concepts like infinite dimensions, things beyond dimensions, dimensions within dimensions, and other stuff. In fact, this could include platonic forms and stuff. This would be... I'm just gonna lowball it and say that it's high hyperversal. Actually, no. I was gonna mention the transfinite mathematics stuff, but that would be overkill. So, I'm just gonna leave it out.
Yeah, and the casual viewer wouldn't understand it anyway.
They wouldn't.
this statement, this means they are seeking to create a beyond 4-dimensional Eggman land, or in other words, a 5D realm. For speed, supersonic scales to admit...
Wait, but Eggman said that it was a dream world, so it would be contained within imaginary world. Okay.
Measurable speed based on him fighting beings like the Time Eater, whose whole shtick is being able to move throughout time. Sonic can also fight the likes of Solaris, a temporal, omnipresent being that required Sonic and his friends to fly throughout past...
So, wait. According to 6, Base Sonic is able to withstand the Time Eater's attacks, right? Time Eater is able to withstand attacks from Super Sonic. Yet, because apparently by him, the incomplete Time Eater doesn't scale anywhere, that's not 5D. Even though Sonic was able to withstand power from the Time Eater, which, regardless if you use the 3DS game or not, there's never stated an infinitely greater gap between the two.
I mean, if it was, Sonic would just died.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, 6's scaling and logic is kind of dookie, I'm not gonna lie.
It's very flawed.
present and future to ultimately take down. For round 3, the main question is if Goku reaches either of these tiers in Dragon Ball Super. For crossverse related scaling, the most important feat to mention for Goku in Super is his clash with Beerus in Battle of Gods, which was going to destroy the entire Universe 7 macrocosm. The macrocosm being filled with multiple universe-sized structures makes this feat astronomically more powerful than a generic universal feat.
I hate the macrocosm argument, but for the scale that I just gave Sonic, let's just give it to Goku. It's not going to help.
I mean, if you really want me to, I could grab the macrocosm being a universe scan real quick.
Yeah, you could.
I don't think it matters, but like, you could argue well, I'll give him low multiversal off of this.
Yeah, let's give him low multiversal. It's not even anything compared to high hyperversal Sonic, but oh man, let's just give Goku this.
Many would argue
Alright,
this is a low
fair.
multiversal feat, which Goku proceeds to surpass by, I kid you not, millions upon millions of times over his numerous battles and training arcs after this. Being high into 4-dimensional levels of power would still pale in comparison to Sonic's 5D power. There is this one interesting scan that floats around out there where it says that the afterlife is dimensionally transcendent, or a realm
Ew.
that transcends dimensions,
No.
depending on the translation. Which
No, just no.
No, it's so garbage. Ew, ew.
can use to argue the macrocosm is 5D, which would make the Battle of Gods Clash 5D as well. The problem with this argument is that the term used here is choetsu, which translates to transcendence in English, and transcendence can refer to an existence or experience beyond the normal or physical level. In this context, existence beyond the normal or physical level can just refer to existing as a soul, and the fact that this is a spiritual realm. This tends to be how transcendence is used in many religious contexts, which describes how your soul basically breaks free from physical limitations of the human body to ascend into the afterlife, as opposed to reaching some higher spatial dimensional tier, which I think it's obviously
actually a pretty
being
good point.
paralleled in the context of Dragon Ball. While I don't think Goku scales to a similar strength tier, you might be able to say he gets to a similar speed tier. The two main arguments people use to argue for a...
I just want to add real quick. There is another scan that like also kind of goes against the idea of transcendence. Well, there is a movie that there's basically Garlic Jr.'s Dead Zone, which takes place in an alternate reality, you know, because it's a movie, which is basically an alternate dimension. Like, it's stated like the supernatural black hole of the Dead Zone, which is like on the level of like the universe, because you know it's like stated to be like it's like a hyperspatial black hole. It's like stated to consume the heavenly realm. Mind you, Garlic Jr.'s Dead Zone is not transcendent to the mortal realm, so that kind of goes against the idea as well.
Hold on, I think I have that scan. Let me go get it real quick.
Is it the black hole stuff?
Yeah, it's from the Daizenshu. I don't know where they get these Daizenshu scans from, but I'm just going to use it for the sake of this video. It says, a hyperspace created through heightened ki, which sucks in everything. It is a space which freezes even one's body and soul, and which lets not even a streak of light escape. In the movies, Garlic Jr. generated one after being cornered by Goku and Piccolo, but through Gohan's power he was sealed inside it. On TV, Garlic Jr. planned to suck up the heavenly realm, but Gohan destroyed planet Makio, and Garlic Jr. was once again sealed inside it himself. So, like, hyperspace is a 4D structure, so, like, yeah, if Otherworld was 5D, it wouldn't really be affected by it, unless it was, like, collapsing each spatial temporal dimension.
Yeah, there's this as well.
Yeah. It says it's even a type of black hole, and this was from Six's own video, so like... yeah. This does not look good for Dragon Ball fans. Just saying.
At this point center around the time-skipping assassin known as Hit. In the anime, we learn that Hit's time skip allows him to skip small increments of time to attack in the very near future. After pushing to improve this ability and using Kaioken times 10, Goku can actually react to hit while he's in the midst of skipping through what would be a very small scale immeasurable speed feat. A common issue people have with the time skip, however, is that
it's not even a measurable speed.
If finite power is keeping up and reacting with hit, that's not immeasurable.
Exactly.
It's just that simple.
Dragon Ball, having a stronger ki gives you a resistance to lesser ki-based abilities, so Goku's feat may have been a byproduct of this resistance as opposed to raw speed. This idea is backed up by the Dragon Ball Super manga, where Whis outright confirms that Hit's ability only works when people on his level or below him. This is important to consider when talking about Hit's next interactions with Jiren. To put it short, Hit's time skip ability was completely useless against Jiren, and even when trapped in the time cage, he was able to easily break out of it by simply trying a bit harder. Due to his display against Hit, the Angel Vado said that Jiren's power transcends time.
Oh my fucking god.
Do not take that statement literally.
Which gets misinterpreted as her saying Jiren's speed rings.
Hold on, let's six talk. Let's six talk.
Transcends time itself. Which gets misinterpreted as her saying Jiren's speed or existence as a whole transcends time, which is very blatantly a misreading of what she says. This statement is as straightforward as can be and aligns with the idea of stronger characters being able to resist the abilities of those weaker than them in Dragon Ball. Jiren, by virtue of being way stronger than Hit, has far superior ki, therefore Hit's ki-based abilities would not work against him. The series is very consistent with how they treat ki-related hacks resistance, so I'm not sure where this misconception of Jiren transcending time came to even be. The victor for this round should be obvious, like the
I'll tell you where it
comes
comes from.
Simple.
It comes from the assumption that Vados is credible on Jiren to begin with.
Also, he just literally just proved that it hacks.
Yeah, it's not
resisting time hit.
It's not referring to a higher existence or anything.
Speed bliss in one shot in this case. Goku can't really do anything to stop Sonic. He can't use his skill to overcome this extremely large gap that's maybe an entire dimensional tier of existence. Thankfully, for the final round though, things get a little bit more interesting.
Oh no, if he says MUI is like higher, like
no.
higher dimensional tier,
The only way I can see this going, I can see Goku getting up there to like 5D and 6Ds if he uses hyperbolic statements from like advertisements of the manga or anime. And I bet that's what he's
talking about that one statement. Are you talking about that one statement where like it stated like MUI was like a transcendent form according to one of the anime title cards?
I'm also talking about that shit where it stated that Goku's battle with Goku Black and Zamasu transcends space and time.
Oh yeah, that's not a fact. Which is
for the fourth and final round, we have.
That's funny considering Dragon Ball's interpretation of transcendence in that instance being traversal.
Yeah.
Yep.
True Ultra Instinct Goku versus Hypersonic. This version of Goku only exists in the manga at this point since the Granola arc is yet to be animated, so only the Dragon Ball Super manga scaling will be used for this video. At the beginning of the Granola arc, Whis states that he does not know anyone stronger than Goku and Vegeta at the moment, but they could never guess when another strong fighter may appear. This means that Goku by this point has surpassed Broly, who had a super dimensional ultimate battle with Gogeta according to
Bruh.
Why? Oh my fucking god.
I can't even take this shit seriously, bro. This is just a bruh moment.
Is he referring to that? Is he actually referring to that misinterpreted statement from like one of the creators of the DBS Broly movie?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't even, bro. Bro, six, bro. You've had some pretty bad. No, I'm not gonna be generous. You had some pretty trash arguments in the past, like when it comes to Naruto, but like, what is this, bruh?
Let me see if I can get that actually. I'm gonna go see if I can find the statement in question that he's I'm, like, I don't know like which one he's talking about, but like here, let me. All right, I think I got it.
Think you got it?
Now, of course, I can't confirm it, but I assume 6 is referring to this and this. To argue that. Because I don't know another source that states super dimensional battle.
What the? It literally says it makes them 3D! That's literally a tear down!
Yeah, this shit's fodder. I'm fucking
Also,
dead.
if you look at it, you could just look at the thumbnail real quick, but like, the thumbnail of the video, but like the super dimensional images, like in context, just refer to like the animation being used. It's a figure of speech. It has literally nothing to do with power.
Ouch. Ouch.
No, I'm not downplaying. I'm not even downplaying. They literally call that CG animation.
Come on, 6. You need to do better research than this, bro. Like, you ain't putting any good effort in this.
Now, like I said, I don't know which scan he's referring to in particular since he didn't showcase, but I'm assuming these are what he's referring to. Considering this is the closest I can find to super dimensional battle with Broly and Gogeta.
Yeah.
To the Dragon Ball
Continue.
Super Broly anime comic, which is in fact canon to the manga, since V-Jump promotional material for the manga advertises this for those who want to see the story of Broly. Since this is not an actually fleshed out story in the Dragon Ball Super manga, of course, this would upscale off of the 4th dimensional macrocosm feat in Bell Lagaz, which pushes Gogeta and Broly and anyone who scales above them in the manga to 5D. This puts Goku and Sonic at comparable AP tiers, since Hypersonic similarly just upscales off the 5D scaling for Super Sonic. While these two fighters may be relative in strength, we still need to determine if somehow you can push Goku to having immeasurable speed, since if not, Sonic would still stomp. The Dragon Ball Super manga is very much lacking in speed feats compared to the anime, which should make sense since the Dragon Ball Super manga originally started as an adaptation for the anime continuity with the same general plot details. Unfortunately for the manga, the best arguments for the immeasurable speed Dragon Ball Super mainly come from the hit stuff I mentioned earlier, which is shaky at best, and the statements around Jiren which aren't even made in the manga. Now, the only other way I could possibly see someone trying to get manga Goku to immeasurable speed is by using this other statement from V-Jump that implies that the gods of the multiverse transcend space-times. Obviously, you could apply this to Beerus and the other gods of destruction, who Ultra Instinct Goku should scale to somewhat. I know Goku versus Beerus in specific is a bit contentious, but at the very least, true Ultra Instinct Goku would be far superior to Jiren, who is way stronger than Belmod. This argument unfortunately does have its fair share of issues because it can be interpreted a few ways. The main interpretation you'd immediately get from a statement like this is that the gods are beyond space-times on an existential level, which doesn't make sense since they are all clearly dwarfed by the universes and can be contained within them. They're not like some comic book characters that have avatars to enter the universe since their true forms are way larger or anything like that. Another interpretation you could apply here is that transcend in this case simply referring to being able to cross over the space-times. So in other words, the statement is saying that the gods are people who can move across space-time. This is a repeated theme throughout Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super.
Well, they can't exactly do that on their own, can they?
No.
It's funny because we literally see that Beerus needs Whis to travel across the universe. You might be able to argue that's because he can't breathe in space, but like that's also never stated. But that can be argued.
It would be strange if a god of destruction couldn't breathe in space.
I know there was that one feat of Beerus crossing the nebulas in like some finite time, but still, I think that should be worth noting.
Yeah.
I mean, Whis also implies that in order to get to Zeno's palace or whatever, dimension, whatever you want to fucking call it, it takes finite time to get there. So,
In before someone says Zeno's palace transcends the multiverse.
Oh man, that's Atari HMV.
The Kaioshins hop in and out of the Kaioshin realm with their Kai teleportation ability, and the Kaioshin realm is a realm that's outside the main macrocosm according to the Daizenshuu.
What? No, the anime kind of stated that it's on the further ends of the universe.
yeah, the Daizenshuu is fucking contradicting the primary source material.
Yeah.
It's not useful. You can't use this here.
Also, like, before you say anything, the anime materials and the manga materials appear to the Daizenshuu all day, so, like, yeah.
Yeah, they're primary sources.
Hold on, let's where is that scanned?
I'll get it. Where did I put that?
Yeah, I got it.
Damn, just as I got it too, lol.
Never mind. I got way too much stuff.
For real, I got that thing.
Yeah, I fucking got it. And at the furthest reaches of the universe in the Kaioshin realm. Meaning it's at the ends of the universe.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what the Daizenshuu says.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what the Daizenshuu says if it contradicts the anime and manga.
Alright, let's continue.
Dragon Ball Super introduces Beerus and Whis as characters that frequently traverse the universe, along with Vados and Champa from Universe 7 having similar implications. While an underwhelming interpretation, this is a consistent portrayal in both the anime and manga. A third interpretation you could go for
Actually, hold up, pause. There is like, I don't know if 6 is gonna actually mention this, but like, you can scale Goku and Beerus' speed to like, the shockwaves they emit from punching so fast that, as we see in the manga, it instantly crosses all of the universe into the world of the Kais. And if you take the interpretation the universe is infinite, that would be, you could scale them infinite speeds off of that. And like that feat gets surpassed by many, many times over.
Yeah, but Key Corp like debunked universal size Dragon Ball. It has to do with instant transmission and like the whole like Dragon Ball's Earth being at the corners of the universe. How can an infinite universe have corners?
It's the spherical universe as well, so that's like double ouch.
I actually have not watched Key Corps. So not gonna comment on that, but I wanted to give Goku the best interpretation, like based off of that.
I mean, we can still give Goku it, but it's not going to change the results.
Yeah. It's immeasurable versus, at best, infinite.
In space-time, which is also underwhelming because we literally see Goku and Beerus threatening to destroy a space within Universe 7 in Battle of Gods. At best, you could use this to support a 5D Goku argument, but without immeasurable speed. Sonic will be able to hit him beyond an infinite amount of times before Goku could even think about anything. Sonic takes yet another round, and the final record is 3-1 in Sonic's favor. That's pretty much all for the video. The outcome to this, like I just said, is 3-1 in Sonic's favor, with this even being a wink to Goku in Dragon Ball Super, getting him up to 5D levels of power by hyperbolically interpreting some statements. But yeah, that's pretty much all. If you like the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, it helps the channel out a lot. I would very much appreciate it. But other than that, have a nice day.
Yeah, so yeah, these were our thoughts in the reaction to the video. It wasn't too bad, but there are some pretty big flaws in there that we had to address.
Yeah, I've seen worse, but this is still pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought the video was pretty good overall.
It was okay.
Even despite the things I disagree with, still.
It was okay to me.
It's been worse, so I'm alright.
Yeah, that'll be all for today, guys.
Alright. I'll see you guys later.
Ciao.
Ciao. Good night.
Yeah, see ya.
Alright. And be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I will see you next time.